Have you ever woken up feeling like your mind is a battlefield of negativity, doubts, fears, and that annoying voice telling you you're not good enough? Sounds fun, right? Definitely not. But what if I told you there's a way to rewire your brain, to build real mental strength, just by changing what you say to yourself? You've probably heard the phrase, "Your thoughts create your reality," thrown around in self-help circles. But here's the thing. It's not just some new age mumbo-jumbo. Science has actually proven that the way you talk to yourself literally rewires your brain. Just think about it. How many times a day do you mentally beat yourself up? I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. I'll never succeed. It's like feeding your brain a steady diet of junk food and then wondering why you feel mentally sluggish. Not exactly a recipe for crushing it in life, right? Today we're breaking down 10 powerful phrases that act like mental steroids, but you know, the legal kind. These aren't just fluffy affirmations, they're psychological tools used by everyone from Navy SEALs to top CEOs. By the end of this video, you'll have a verbal arsenal that can transform your mental game from amateur to pro. But first, a quick experiment. Pause this video and type in the comments, "I will be mentally stronger today." Sounds simple, right? But here's what's actually happening. By writing it down, you're creating a public commitment, which psychology shows makes you 42% more likely to follow through. Pretty sneaky of us, huh? All right, let's build that mental fortress. Phrase number 1, I am capable. Look, your mind is basically the control room of your entire life. When you doubt yourself, even the smallest challenge feels like scaling Mount Everest in flip-flops. But repeating, I am capable daily is like installing a firewall against self-doubt. This isn't some magical thinking. It's rewiring your neural pathways. Think about Navy SEALs during Hell Week. What separates those who ring the bell from those who make it? It's not just physical strength. It's the unshakable belief in their capability. When you're faced with a challenge, your brain instantly searches for evidence of whether you can handle it. And guess what feeds that database? Your self-talk. Don't wait to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The stars won't align and conditions will never be perfect. Action creates capability. This phrase trains your brain to see obstacles as opportunities, not roadblocks. You'll start trusting yourself more and needing validation from others less. More you, less them. Being capable doesn't mean never failing. It means knowing that when you do faceplant, and you will, you've got what it takes to get back up. So look yourself in the mirror each morning and say with conviction, I am capable. Because, spoiler alert, you absolutely are. Phrase number 2, I lead by example. Here's a brutal truth. Talk is cheap. Anyone can run their mouth about how things should be done or how others should behave. But real mental strength, it's shown through actions. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. The world is packed with hypocrites, people who demand honesty but lie, expect respect but give none, criticize laziness while doing nothing themselves. It's like complaining about pollution while throwing trash out your car window. Ask yourself daily, am I living in alignment with my values? If not, it's time for a reality check. You can't control how others behave, but you can control your own actions. Want more respect? Start by respecting yourself and others. Want fairness? Act fairly. Want discipline? Show discipline. It sounds simple, but it's surprising how many people miss this basic principle. Your behavior is contagious. Make sure it's worth catching. When you lead by example, you don't need to preach. Your life becomes a living demonstration of your values. And here's the kicker. People are always watching, even when you think they're not. They see how you handle setbacks, how you treat others, how you push through challenges. True leadership isn't about titles, it's about influence. Phrase number 3, I will not stop. Life isn't static, it's constant movement. Every day brings new obstacles that test your resolve. I will not stop isn't just motivational fluff, it's a mental commitment that giving up simply isn't an option. Think of it as your personal battle cry against the forces of mediocrity. Imagine running a marathon. Your muscles scream, your lungs burn, and every fiber of your being wants to quit. But as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're making progress. Fear of failure might freeze you in place. Comfort might whisper, stay here. But real growth happens beyond your comfort zone. Your biggest obstacle isn't external, it's right between your ears. It's that voice telling you to give up, take the easy route, or that you're not good enough. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus nailed it when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Mental toughness is about how you respond to challenges, not the challenges themselves. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Fail, learn from it. Doubt yourself, take action anyway. Saying "I will not stop" daily is like building mental armor plate by plate. No matter how rough the road gets, there's always a way forward. As long as you're moving, you're still in the game. And as long as you're in the game, you're growing. Phrase number 4, I will be better every day. You weren't born to stay the same. Human beings are designed for growth. It's literally in our DNA. Each day is a chance to level up, to become a slightly improved version of yourself. This isn't about massive overnight transformation, it's about consistent incremental improvement. True self-improvement isn't about competing with others, it's about competing with your past self. It's about embracing the learning process and acknowledging that you don't know everything. Growth means accepting that you have habits to change and weaknesses to strengthen. And here's the liberating part. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. When you say, "I will be better every day," you're not promising to transform into Superman overnight. You're committing to small, sustainable improvements. Maybe you'll read 1 extra page, be slightly kinder, or keep 1 promise to yourself. These tiny actions compound over time, creating massive results. It's like compound interest for your character. If you improve just 1% each day, in a year you'll be 37 times better than when you started. That's not just impressive. It's mathematically inevitable. But if you settle for who you are today, you're choosing stagnation. And in a world that's constantly evolving, standing still is actually moving backward, not exactly a winning strategy. Phrase number 5, as I think, so it shall be. Your mind is the command center of your entire life. What you think influences what you do, and what you do shapes your reality. This isn't some mystical law of attraction, it's basic psychology. Your thoughts are the blueprint for your actions, and your actions build your life. William James, the father of American psychology, put it perfectly. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. If you constantly dwell on negative thoughts, you'll create a negative reality, not because of magic, but because your thoughts dictate your actions. It's like programming the GPS for your life. If you think you're weak, you'll act weak. If you believe you'll fail, you'll subconsciously sabotage yourself. But if you cultivate the certainty that you're strong and capable, you'll act accordingly. This isn't blind optimism, it's strategic mental positioning. Your perception creates your reality because it determines your actions, and actions, not wishes, change your life. If you fill your mind with excuses and problems, you'll stay stuck. But if you direct your thoughts towards solutions and opportunities, you'll start seeing possibilities where others see obstacles. When you repeat, "As I think, so it shall be," you're not casting a spell, you're programming your mental operating system for success. Phrase number 6, I will stop making excuses. Let's get brutally honest here. Excuses are like comfort food for mediocrity. They're where we hide our insecurities and justify settling for less than we could achieve. Every time you make an excuse, you're giving away your power. You're fooling yourself into believing that your excuse is the real reason you're not succeeding. Taking responsibility is the master key to freedom. If things aren't going your way, don't blame the weather, your upbringing, or Mercury being in retrograde. Take ownership. It might be a bitter pill to swallow, but it's incredibly empowering. Because if you're not responsible for your situation, you're essentially just a passenger in your own life. Tell yourself, I will stop making excuses whenever you catch yourself playing the blame game. Instead of complaining, figure out what you can do differently next time. Complaining is like rocking in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do but doesn't get you anywhere. It's movement without progress. When things go wrong, don't waste energy blaming external factors. Channel that energy into finding solutions. Remind yourself, I will stop making excuses every time you feel the urge to deflect responsibility. Own your choices, own your actions, own your life, because in the end, the only person you're really fooling with excuses is yourself. Phrase number 7. I ignore the opinions of others. If you spend your life obsessing over what other people think, you'll never be truly free. The constant need for approval is like wearing invisible handcuffs. It restricts your movements and keeps you perpetually trapped in other people's expectations. Living to please others is like trying to catch smoke. It's impossible, and you'll end up exhausted with nothing to show for it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of emotional independence. He understood that true freedom comes from within, not from external validation. Why give others that kind of power over you? If you base your decisions on what others want, you'll lose your sense of self and your inner peace. Listening to constructive feedback is one thing. Letting others dictate your life is another. You have not just the right but the responsibility to choose what's best for you. Remind yourself daily, I ignore the opinions of others. This isn't about becoming antisocial or rejecting all advice. It's about developing a mental filter that separates valuable input from noise. It's about learning to hear your own voice above the crowd, because at the end of the day, it's your life, not theirs. When you break free from the need for external validation, you create space to be your authentic self. True freedom begins when you stop caring what everyone else thinks. Own your thoughts, own your actions, own your destiny. Your life is too important to outsource to other people's opinions. Phrase number 8. I realize I can. The biggest obstacle between you and your dreams isn't some external force. It's usually the 6 inches between your ears. Self-doubt is like an invisible wall that stops you before you even start. We often get paralyzed by fear and insecurity, believing we're not good enough or smart enough. But here's the truth. You're probably way stronger than you think. The first step to achieving anything is conquering your own mind. It's not about what happens to you, but how you choose to respond. And often, that initial response is fear of failure or lack of confidence. Your internal narrative is either your greatest ally or your worst enemy. The good news, you get to choose which one it is. If other people have achieved what you want, why not you? The main difference is often just determination, the courage to keep going when doubt whispers in your ear. Telling yourself, I realize I can, isn't magical thinking. It's acknowledging your potential and changing your attitude. It's giving yourself permission to succeed. When you believe in your abilities, you make decisions with confidence and act with conviction. The key is taking that first step without hesitation. If others can do it, so can you. The difference isn't some magical ability. It's the willingness to persevere when things get tough. Your potential is just waiting to be unleashed. Phrase number 9, I live in the now. The past is gone. The future doesn't exist yet. The only reality we have is this moment, right now. Yet we spend most of our lives mentally time traveling, dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future problems. It's like living in a perpetual time warp, but without the cool special effects. Anxiety often comes from living outside the present moment. We regret what we can't change or stress about what we can't control. But the only thing we can actually influence is what we do right now, in this moment. The past is a lesson, not a prison. The future is a possibility, not a guarantee. Life unfolds in the present, not in our memories or our anxieties. Whenever you find yourself caught in the past or future, gently remind yourself, I live in the now. This phrase acts like a mental anchor, grounding you in the present moment. It's like hitting the reset button on your thoughts. When you stop living in the past or future, you free yourself from unnecessary mental baggage and focus on what truly matters, what you're doing right now. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or future. It means recognizing that your only real power exists in this moment. The now is where choices are made and action happens. Phrase number 10, I build my reality. We often act like victims of circumstance, as if everything that happens to us is completely beyond our control. It's like playing a never-ending game of blame, where nothing is ever your fault. But here's the truth bomb. While you can't control every external event, you absolutely control how you respond. You are the architect of your life, not a helpless bystander. You have the power to choose your reaction, your attitude, your perspective. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to interpret and respond to what happens. This is where your true power lies, in your response. Remember every single day, I build my reality. This is your mental superpower. This phrase reminds you to take full responsibility for your choices and actions. Every decision you make, every habit you form, contributes to the life you're creating. Don't let yourself be carried by the current. Grab the rudder and steer your own ship. It's comfortable to blame external factors for your problems, but that just robs you of your power. If you're facing a challenge, it's not what's happening that ultimately matters, but how you choose to respond. Your reaction, your attitude, your mindset, that's what shapes your life. It's about choosing your own adventure every single day. Build a reality rooted in your strength, your values, and your conscious choices. Every action shapes the future you desire. Don't let circumstances dictate your path. You are the creator of your destiny. Now you know, the power has been in your hands all along. The words you tell yourself every day have immense power. They're like mental programming that shapes your actions and reactions. True strength doesn't come from external factors, but from your internal resources. Your mindset, your attitude, your resilience. It all starts with your inner dialogue. It's like upgrading your mental operating system. Incorporate these 10 phrases into your daily routine, and you'll start to notice a shift in your mindset, your reactions, and your overall life. This is just the beginning of your journey to mental mastery. It's like you've just unlocked level 1 of a much bigger game, and trust us, the rewards only get better from here. If this content helped you, smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we can create a community of mentally strong individuals ready to take on whatever life throws at them. See you in the next video.